Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. You're watching JCTV playing on the Xbox One console. This is Stranded in the Pacific Northwest, episode number 16. All right, folks. So we have managed to reseed and harvest this massive field a couple of times now, and not barring any unforeseen expenses, we do have quite a few hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, and we are going to purchase our first piece of land on this side of the map. Field number 31, which includes a small but okay sized farm section. You can see it there right above field number 31 that we've just purchased. So we do have a little bit of space available to create an alternate farm operations center, or the satellite office, as maybe we'll call it. But what we're going to start first is, before we go over there and check that out, we're going to reseed this massive field here with some more soybeans. And then we need more money because now we're down to $139,000. So soybeans is still the go-to cash crop for this phase of the operation. We still need mass amounts of money. So let's switch this to soybeans. Sorry, and when I say mass amounts of money, that one huge field that you've seen on that side of the map is like $1.4 million just to purchase that field. So we got to get things moving. We need more crops, we need more money, and things are going to get a lot busier. So we're going to drive the seeder and the seed cart over to our new field. We're going to do a little bit of manual seeding first, just to level out the bottom of the field, because it does have that weird angle on the far side of it, and the worker never goes right to the end. And even if he did, he would actually hit the fence and not be able to turn around, and it would just cause problems. So it's easier if we manually seed this bottom portion of the field, just about 3 or 4 rows in, so that the worker has enough space to turn around and come back and make sure everything's really nice. You can see there it was really close proximity to the fence line, so we don't want to disturb the worker or come back and move him, because, you know, anyone who uses workers knows that worker A has hit an object and is not smart enough to unstick himself from whatever predicament that he's got himself into. So you have to manually come and move him. I don't know if the worker's ever heard of a reverse button, but, you know, you don't have to sit there. Anyways, that's enough of my worker rant for today. We're going to start off just with a nice straight line across, and then we'll fill in the bottom. And then once that's done, we will hire the worker to take over the rest of the seeding of this field. Okay, almost in position here, getting real close to that fence line. And we're just going to go straight across the bottom here, right from the corner of where the diagonal starts. That doesn't need to be perfect because the worker will take care of the rest. All right. Let's drop the seeder, turn on the sower, and we are off to the races. Off to the races at a whopping 10 miles an hour. 11. All right. I don't know if anyone watching has ever used this particular sower with seed cart, but this is a godsend. It is simply fantastic. From 100% full, like you just seen, we are actually able to reseed and fertilize this entire field, only using just under half, or just over half of the tank capacity. So to give you an idea, from 100% fertilizer, the whatever the amount is, 18,000 or 16,000, we have 47% left over by the time we're done fertilizing, just this one round. And then 57% of our seed is still in the tank as well. So we're only using 43% seed and 53% of the fertilizer. So this field could be a lot bigger. we do have the capacity to seed a much, much larger field, which I'm looking forward to on the other side of the bridge, on that side of the map, once we start buying more fields and merging them together. That is just going to be a super massive field for the satellite operations center to handle. Just looking forward a little bit, once that super field is constructed over on that side of the map, we will probably look at running 2 more harvesters, another semi-trailer with a tipper, maybe another seed cart with sower, just like this one, the Vaderstad seed cart and sower. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm getting excited. I can't wait until it's done, because I don't know, it's super fantastic to be able to create your own fields and modify the game to your liking. That's one of the great things about Farming Simulator, is that you can make these changes to make the game your own. You don't have to leave it like it is and get bored really easy. I'm one of those players who gets bored remarkably fast, and I'm always looking for something different to play because the game is always the same. But that's not the case with the Farming Simulator games. I love making these little changes to make the gaming experience different every time we play. So, that being said, why don't you leave a comment down below? Let me know if you modify your fields, or if you leave them the same, or you just play the same game day in and day out. That's fine if you do. It's no slight against you by any means. It's just the way that I like to play this game. I always like to make these changes and throw myself little curveballs and find out what happens. So it makes no difference. All right. This isn't going to take too long at all, because this sower is super huge. All right, so while we're sowing the bottom portion of this field, why don't you take a minute, check out the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, click that subscribe button for me, like and share this video, and ring that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we upload new content. If this is your first time joining us here on JCTV, you will be happy to know that we do a different series on a different map each day of the week, Monday through Friday. Mondays is the Shima Sovo map. Tuesdays is obviously stranded in the Pacific Northwest here. Wednesdays, stranded on Oakfield Farms. Thursdays is the mysterious disappearance of my father on Lone Oak Farms. That's a great little mystery series to watch. Fridays is the Fun Video Friday. It's Farming Legends on the console, all played exclusively on the Xbox One. And don't forget, we are also on Twitter as well. My Twitter link is in the description. Come and check us out. Videos posted daily, schedules posted whenever they change. Come and give us a follow on Twitter. Check us out on Patreon as well. We have exclusive offers for Patreon members. For instance, if you need help growing your YouTube channel, for the very, very low price of $1 a month, I will retweet everything that you post on Twitter that relates to your YouTube channel. $1 a month. Can't beat that. All right, now all of that plug-in stuff is out of the way. We've got about 2 more laps with the seeder, and then we should be done. Maybe 3. Doesn't look like we'll get all of that in the next run. That's okay. It's not going to take very long, and then we can zip on over and check out our farm. I did have a preliminary look at it before we started this video. There are a few trees that need to be removed, plus I want to remove those trees by the silo that we just put in the last episode to give us a nice run-up with the semi-truck so that we can empty our crops into the silo. We're going to need... we needed this silo in the last episode because these fields are getting so big now that maybe we can store some crops instead of just selling everything. I do want to get to the point where we add some animals, so the silos will come in handy for storing animal feed in the way of crops like pigs. We'll eat 4 or 5 different types of crops, so it's good to have a stockpile of those. Same thing with the cows. We need a hay barn as well if we're going to do hay and grass for cows. We did add the silage bunker. We're going to check the silage bunker as well. We do have some grass fermenting in there. Last I checked, it was about 23%. So hopefully by the end of this video, maybe we can empty out some silage in the next episode. We'll see how that goes and see what the money situation is with the silage. All right, so it looks like we're going to go once back and then back again, and then we can start the worker on seeding the rest of this field. You can see what I mean by seed and fertilizer consumption. We've done the bottom half of this field already, and we're only down 8% on seed and fertilizer. So this actually works out pretty good. I'm not sure if the seed and fertilizer output is accurate on this map. I know it's different for each maps because when I play on Oakfield on Wednesdays, the seed and fertilizer just fly out of the seeder. Maybe it depends on which seeder you're using, I don't know. But this Vaderstad sower and seed cart has a very, very low output for seed and fertilizer. I think that's what makes it so beneficial and cost effective. It is quite expensive to purchase both of these machines at the same time, but if you can afford it, I strongly advise you pick these up because it does make very, very quick work of all of your seeding and fertilizing needs, especially for the first round of fertilizing. If you've never played this game before, you can fertilize each field twice to get it up to 100%. The first time brings it up to 50%, which you can see we're doing that with the seed cart and fertilizer cart, And the second one, after the first stage of growing is complete, you can fertilize again up to 100%, increasing your crop output so you make more money. It just makes good sense to spend a few $1,000s fertilizing your crops and then fertilizing them again. All right, so the bottom half is done. We're going to drive the seed cart over to the far end here, and we'll start him off on this side, and then we'll check back with him periodically just to make sure that everything's okay. But it should go off without a hitch. The worker should go up and down 12 or 13 times and finish seeding and fertilizing for us. And then he shouldn't hit anything. There's a big open space at the top of the field, so there should be enough room for him to turn around without hitting anything. But we'll be alerted if something happens. All right, so let's just set this worker in motion. We'll switch to the Massey Ferguson tractor, or the Case tractor, sorry. I keep calling it Massey Ferguson. I think it's a Case. No, it is a Massey Ferguson tractor. All right. I play a lot of maps and I got a lot of equipment, so there's a lot going on in my head there. All right, so let's drive on over to the newest purchase, Phase 1 of Operation Center 2, the satellite office, is now in effect. We have purchased field number 31 with a small piece of farmland attached to it so that we can build. Maybe we'll have enough left over after we remove the trees and stuff and landscape. We can get some sheds and some equipment, maybe a workshop, who knows. It's a very nice drive past the cemetery and the church. I do like this Pacific Northwest map. It's very scenic. It's got a lot of things to look at. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of places to sell your crops, and it doesn't limit you. I know there's some maps out there that only have like 2 places to sell your crops, like the Farming Legends series we run on Friday. There's 2 places to sell your wheat, barley, oats, and stuff. It's like the North Silo and the West Silo or something like that. But anyways, all right, this is going to be a huge field. Look at how long it's taking us just to drive to this one field that we purchased. This field is going to be massive. I can't wait to join all of these fields together to plow all of this into one big, massive field. It's going to take some time, but I think we can do it. I'm up for the task if you are. Thanks for tuning in every week, folks. I really appreciate it. Whether you subscribe or not, the fact that you're just watching and commenting makes my little heart shine with joy. All right, here it is. This is a blank canvas. What do we got here? We got 2 entrance points, all right. Maybe we can put up a fence with some automatic gates like our other field. I think there's some mods for the automatic arms. We can put those in. Yeah, we've got to get rid of these trees and bushes and puddles and stuff. All right, so we're going to go into the shop and into the forestry machinery, and we're going to lease the Lizard Trex 600. We're not going to buy it. It's $190,000, and really, we're just going to use it for a couple of things. We don't really need it that often enough to buy it. All right, so here we are in the T-Rex. Now we have to sit and wait for the long drive over to the satellite office because this thing runs at a whopping 12 miles an hour. Okay, so let's head on over to the field. All right, now on one hand, I like using the Lizard T-Rex to remove trees because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not much of a logger, and we don't have the equipment to cut down the trees, process the wood, drive it to the sawmill. Maybe in the future we will buy some logging equipment, but for now, 10 grand or $9,000 on the Lizard T-Rex just to lease it for the day is more than enough. You're probably looking at about a few $100,000 just to purchase all the forestry equipment to chop down trees and remove the stumps and process the logs and load them onto a trailer and drive them to the sawmill. It's a very lengthy process, and as I said, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not a logger. I don't enjoy logging. I don't think I've ever done one logging video ever in the time that we've been doing this here with the JCTV. So maybe in the future we'll tackle logging. I'm somewhat of a logging noob. I do enjoy watching logging videos, especially the ones from FDR logging. Shout out to FDR and his awesome logging videos. But yeah, for the most part, I just like farming and building fields and growing crops. I could really care less about logging. Okay, the cab of this thing looks pretty cool. Joystick driven, lots of windows you can see through the floor. All right. Well, we are almost there. And don't forget, we have to drive this thing at 12 miles an hour all the way back across the bridge to the number 1 farm operations center and remove those 3 or 4 trees from the silo area as well. So there's a small logging area right here to our left. Now, we could utilize that space for something. Maybe we can get rid of all those trees, and that's where we can build our animal sanctuary once that gets going. Maybe that's what we can use that space for. That's a good idea. I'll have to put a pin in that, and then we'll look at that later on. All right. Let's flip on the T-Rex. Let's start erasing some trees. All right, again, this is a remarkable little machine. There goes the tree. And now we just remove the stump. The lights on would be good. Still a little bit of stump left. And the tree's gone. And now we can landscape that part. You could landscape over the stumps, but it's kind of tough on the equipment driving over the stumps all the time. It's just easier to erase the tree. That way you don't have to buy a stump cutter and go and get it and drive it all the way over here and attach it. It's just easier to do it this way. right. Oh, that went all in one. No stump. All right. Trees are not giving me too much trouble today. That's good. Hey, another one. All right, just a couple of trees left. And then we can start landscaping. We can pour some concrete and start making this look like an actual farm. Satellite Operations Center, or SOC. The SOC. All right, last tree's out of the way, and there goes the last stump. Goodbye, stump. We don't need you. All right, no more trees. So let's drive this off of the land here just a little bit. We'll switch back to the Massey Ferguson, and we'll move that out of the way. And then we will landscape mode this portion of farmland. We're going to keep it the original shape. We're just going to concrete over top of all these bushes and dirt so that it looks nice and clean. And of course, defaults back to here. Cedar's still going, that's good. No problems with Mr. Worker. Yeah, I don't own this land yet. All right, so we're just going to switch to the painting tool, and we're going to paint over top of the bushes and the dirt. We just have to choose our ground type. Now, let's see here. No, we don't want that one. This one, I believe, is the one we want. Yes. That matches some portion of existing concrete. So we're just going to go around the edges and get rid of the dirt. Careful not to alter the shape of the farmland too much. Doesn't matter if it's in a straight line or not. Grass grows. It's not really any particular shape. There we go. Perfect. And that still leaves us room to put a gate or something. There we go. And the outline, perfect. Now we'll just switch to a bigger tool, switch to a bigger brush, and we'll just paint the heck out of this ground. There we go. All right. Painting over the bushes. See you later, bushes. This is maybe roughly the same size as our other operations center on the other side of the map, maybe a little smaller. Doesn't matter. Really, all we need to put here is a couple of sheds, 2 harvesters, the seed cart, and the Vaderstad sower, and the semi-trailer with the tipper. We don't really need much else over here. There we go. We should be good. All right. So there is our potential for our new farm. Fantastic looking. All right, so now we're going to hop back in the T-Rex, and we're going to drive the T-Rex back over to the original operation center on the other side of the bridge at a whopping 12 miles an hour. And then we're going to remove the other 3 or 4 trees by the silo that we installed in the last episode. And then we'll come back and maybe add a couple of sheds or something to this farmland, just to make it look like it is habitable and someone is actually doing something here. All right, there's another large forest right up to the front of us here in front. So I'm not sure if we're going to keep that there, or it's larger than the other forest area, but I don't really have anything in mind for that. I don't want to waste time cutting down all those trees if we're just going to put another field. I think this is enough land to make a super huge field on its own. I don't think we need anything else. Well, this rain is relentless. It has been raining pretty much this entire video. All right, 12 miles an hour back to civilization. Oh-de-do-de-do-de-do. 12 miles an hour. We'll get there eventually, folks, and all we have to do is remove those trees and then send the T-Rex back to the shop for another job well done. It certainly is a nice drive this slow. You can slowly see things starting to come back into the landscape, like the water tower and the trees. And I haven't quite figured out what our plan is for up on the top of the mountain. There's 20 fields up on top of the mountain that are really just sitting there. So I'm not sure what our plan is there. Do we want to have a third farm? What do you think? Leave me a comment down below. Do you think we should start a third farm up on the mountain once Phase 2 is complete? Phase 2 being the satellite operation center. Phase 3 would be the third satellite operation center up on the mountain. There's an enormous amount of fields up there, and we can do a lot of farming up on top. But I want to do down the mountain first because these fields are huge. We could use a lot of those upper fields for the animal feed crops that we plan on growing once we have our animal sanctuary, but that would mean we have to create another farm up on the mountain because it's not very time management wise to drive everything down, up, down. It'd be better if we could just load it onto a train car, drive it down the mountain, and then drop it off in that port silo that's right by our field, and that's where we could store our animal feed. I think that would be I think we had just hatched our plan, and that sounds pretty good to me. So maybe we'll put a pin on that. I'll write that on my whiteboard, and that'll be the plan for up on the mountain, I think. Well, thanks for all your help on that one. That's awesome. All right, now that that's out of the way, we have just crossed the bridge over into our land. You can see the seed cart and sower off in the distance. He is going to town. He is almost finished. That is great. That didn't take long at all. All right, so this is the runoff space that we want to clear out. I'd like to just drive straight into the silo, and with the silage bunker there, maybe poor planning on my part, but there's not a lot of room to maneuver that semi-truck and the tipper in and around that silage bunker. So it's better if we just have a little area we can drive right up to it. Maybe we can park some things over here as well. Maybe if the silage business gets a little out of control, we can get a telehandler with a silage fork or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. This is pretty much day by day here on JCTV with Farming Simulator 19. You never know what's going to happen, what ideas may or may not pop into my head, and then we can just make those changes as we go. All right, this is the last tree, and then we can landscape this grass out of here. Come on, tree. There you go. And this is the only stump that's not going to be removed. Come on. Where are you? Nope, nothing. I don't even think it's in the way. No, it's not. It's on the edge of the concrete. We don't need it. We don't need to remove it. Let's try it again. It's bugging me now. My OCD is kicking in. I must remove the stump. Maybe I will have to get a stump cutter. It would appear so. No, you're just not going to remove. Well, there goes my perfect record for stump removal. That's all right. We'll just leave it there. We will send the T-Rex back because we don't need it anymore. All right, let's landscape this. Now we're back at the other farm. We've got to fly all the way back across the bridge. I know we're going to have a problem landscaping near the road because we can't remove that. But let's get as close to the road as possible, and we'll get rid of the grass here. It'll give us a nice little truck runway for our semi-trailer to get right into that tipper, or right into the silo. We'll switch to the square one. Nice straight lines. Let's see if we can get as close to that as possible. That's okay. That'll have to do. Block by block, we will just clear a space. Yeah, see, we're running into a problem there at the road. Yeah, we're going to have to switch to a smaller tool and get as close to the road as possible, get rid of some of this grass. Nope, no, you can stay. All right, well, that seems to be close enough. Little bit of grass grow by the road. Maybe if we make it a little bit smaller. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. But I am relentless. Let's try and get rid of all the grass. Let's make it as small as we can. Well, that looks good. All right. Perfect. And now we can just drive right up and then curve around the silo. That's perfect. That is enough space. Let's check our silage bunker real quick. It was at 23% last time, I think. 28%. All right. Still got to get to 100 before we can uncover the grass and sell the silage. Let's get rid of the T-Rex. We'll send you back to the shop. Thank you for your service, sir. You are no longer needed. All right, let's go back to Operation Central number 2. We'll move this tractor out of the way. Let's see if we can put some stuff here. We need some sheds. We're just going to go with the easy sheds. Same ones we had before on the other end. Just the cheap $9,000 one will do just fine. Don't really need anything fancy right now. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, we were getting roughly $360,000 in crop revenue from that big field of soybeans. So hopefully another 2 more times should give us about 500,000, maybe, give or take a few. with the cost of seeding and fertilizing. Let's just get this in here as close to the road. There we go. We're going to put another one, but I think we have to put it diagonally because it's not going to fit there with the fence line. We'll just put it on a little bit of an angle. This way. Right there. That looks good, I think. Close to the fence. All right. That way we can put a light post in the middle of it. And then I think we need a workshop. We're going to put a workshop. Yes, we need a workshop to prepare the equipment. Where to put the workshop? I think that's a little too close to the shed. Maybe we want to try the other side. Where are we going? I don't know, that's a little too far. I don't like that over there. Right in here, right beside the entrance and the exit, that'll be good. Yeah, we can have one door in, one door out, maybe. There we go. Shop is placed. Now we have 2 sheds and a shop. It's starting to look like we know what we're doing over here, which is good. Now we just need to search the mod hub for some fencing. I'd like to get some chain link fence, maybe. If anyone knows if there's a chain link fence mod in the mod hub, please let me know. There we go. So they were growing soybeans. This is the field that we own. I don't want to put brick walls because that just looks silly. I'd like to put the same as we have on the other side. So, chain link fence mods, folks, if you see any in the mod hub, drop me a comment down below. Let me know where it is, what it's called, and if you've used it before, how it works out, because I would like to put those red and white arm gates as well, like we have on the other field. That'd be great. All right, so we now just have to check on the worker that is seeding and fertilizing our field. We're going to flip on the time-lapse mode really quickly so we don't have to sit through that. Enjoy the time-lapse music, folks, and we will check back with you closer to the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. All right, the seeding and fertilizing is complete, and you can see now that this field was so huge, the soybeans have already started to grow in the bottom half of this field. 2 little patches of soybeans started the second stage of growing. That's fantastic. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share this video, ring that notification bell for me so you can be alerted every time we upload new content. You don't want to miss anything. For now, this is JCTV saying see you later.